Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Rob. Joining us today is Connor.
Hello.
Who has played Crimson Desert recently
at
Gamescom. Now, I played this a few months ago. I played a series of boss battles, and I hear, Connor, that you have got a taste of like a full mission and have got a glimpse at some of the open worldness of Crimson Desert, which I'm very excited about.
Well, you hear correctly. So yeah, this was a full hour-long session I had at Gamescom. Obviously, Crimson Desert is a single-player adventure, and this was one full mission that we got, which was nice, which is different to what you have had. For those of you who don't know, the game is a single-player adventure. It's set in the same universe as the very popular MMO Black Desert Online. The game is due to come out in early 2026, and I have to say, I really enjoyed this. It was a really fun demo, very big and loud and bombastic and brash and all of the things that really appealed to me, even as someone who I think you would probably agree on paper isn't really the sort of target audience for a big fantasy epic game like this. Like, I've often professed that I'm not the biggest fantasy fan, and this is
outrageous.
I know, I'm sorry. But this has completely won me over. So yeah, let's go and have a look and see what I did, and we'll talk about it.
Please do. I mean, I have to say as well that I am a big fantasy fan.
Yes.
And I'm sort of like trying to temper my enthusiasm and excitement for this, just because when I played it before, I can't help but shake the feeling, man, is this really as good as I think it could be? I only got to play 4 boss battles. I found the combat very deep and sophisticated.
Yes.
Got my ass kicked quite a lot.
Yeah.
But also had a huge amount of fun, and saw like tantalizing glimpses of how big and beautiful the open world looked. And I was like, have they really made a game that's this big, this beautiful, and has combat this rich?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Let's find out indeed. So I know that you've just said you wanted to temper those expectations, and I completely understand that. You don't want to be, hurt if it doesn't meet those expectations. But I'm really sorry to disappoint you. That I think actually,
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
The game's really actually going to be great. Yeah. I mean, just look at like the scale of the world, and I think this is the word that I'm going to keep using every time I talk about something in the game is scale or breadth or depth or hugeness, massiveness, bigness.
Size.
I can't quite wrap my head around how big and ambitious of a project this is, and how they seem to be, especially considering it's their first single player game, achieving it to this level. It's really very impressive. Like, obviously it's a gorgeous game. So you can see here, we kind of walk through some camp before we start the mission proper, and you just get this lovely view of the valley. I mean, look at the mountains at the distance. It's really incredible. Here
so
I am
shooting cannons at a town.
Yes, so this is an enemy camp. So the castle in the middle that you can see there is kind of the enemy. The stronghold that should be ours. There's been taken over by some enemy troops who we don't like. There's a traitor within, and this is us just repairing some cannons and then softening up the watchtowers before we make our way in. And again, it's just like you fire these big cannon bolts, and firing cannon is always cool. Like I've never fired a cannon and thought, no, that was disappointing. But yeah, it's just get to see some lovely scale of the kind of the lovely draw distance and everything there. And then moving quickly on, you've got this kind of quick animation here just to show you raising a flag, but that's not. This is cool, but this is not the really fun bit. So I think the big part of this that I spoke about before is kind of the size and the brashness of it. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pop this flag in, and then I'm going to call in a fantasy game an airstrike. So you'll see my character in a moment fire an arrow, like a whistling arrow, into the air, and it will just call down explosions and chaos. And it's like to have something to be able to call in an airstrike in a game that still has horses in it is pretty sensational.
I mean,
really.
that's pretty cool. I mean, I just can't help but, it's giving me Big Witcher vibes, just like the look and feel and the size of the world, and also just the tone of it. There's really nice water graphics there.
Yeah, the water graphics are really quite something. I do like the reflections. We always love some good reflections.
Yeah, but also there's it's going to probably draw comparisons to The Witcher, maybe in terms of Like the bosses I fought, like they all had like their own personality.
Yeah.
None of them felt by the numbers. They all felt like big events, sort of what you would expect from, something like an Elden Ring, where the bosses are the big things everyone talks about.
Yes.
So it feels like they're taking inspiration from all of the big successful open world RPGs. And again, it's like a level of ambition and scale that you're like, have they actually managed to pull this off?
Yeah, it's very impressive. I think because they've got this wonderful, rich world that is obviously like it's an enormous tapestry of all of these amazing bits of lore and this incredible place that they've created. They're able to pull on all of those threads and on that big fountain of knowledge in a way that a game like The Witcher does, because it's got this amazing kind of body of work behind it that existed before the games did. And it means that everything that you do and all of the characters, they have a better sense of place because of it, rather than feeling like they just exist for this game. Everything is all cemented in a world that existed way before you entered it as a player.
I mean, there's a lot going on here, isn't there?
Yeah. So this is me still not getting over the fact that I can call it an airstrike, even though I'm right next to everybody. But this is the melee combat is, as you kind of touched on before, it's incredibly deep. For a non-fighter like me, that again, like not great with fantasy games generally and fighting games in particular, which it seems like the control scheme for this game sort of draws on. It's maybe expecting you to play claw or half claw or something. The amount of attacks that you can do is just a bit staggering, really. Like, you've got multiple combos that you can do. You can switch weapons on the fly mid-combo.
Yeah.
You can use elemental attacks. You can use magic attacks, and all of them simultaneously or separately. It's just... and it's so brutal as well.
I think it's a smart comparison to make to fighting games there. Because I do remember... when I played it, the devs telling me, suggesting a few combos that I could do, and they're the kind of things you wouldn't expect in like just an action RPG. Like there's like a force push kind of move that he does that you can do into the ground, which flings him high in the air, and then whilst you're in the air, you can do like aerial moves with your arrows and things.
Yeah, and the palm strike, I think, is the word that they use for that. And unfortunately, I've not included it in this kind of clip that we're watching, but there is a moment where you can grab one of the enemies and just suplex them into the ground, and that's just giving me sort of big Resident Evil 4 cheese vibes. Like, yes, ridiculous over the top action. I love it. It's just so bombastic is the word that I will keep using. I just think it's brilliant. So this is the boss fight. This is Cassius Morton, Morton, who is the big bad. He's the big head of the traitor, and as you can see, he's quite big. Like, your character is already massive compared to everybody else, and I guess that's part of the game's way of making you feel very powerful. And then this guy is easily another 2 or 3 feet taller than you are.
I mean, it really does feel like they're putting a lot of focus on making the bosses big events.
Yes.
Like this guy, just the fact that, he's got the name, he's got the health bar, he looks like an absolute badass. The bosses are a big part of this game.
Yes.
I really get the sense that they are. And the variety of them as well. So I fought a couple of human-sized bosses, despite the fact this guy is, he is a human, very tall human
size.
I also fought this enormous crab monster where you have to sort of Shadow of the Colossus style swing onto its back.
Oh wow!
And completely different kind of strategy and approach and scale of boss fight as well. This is like a one-on-one human versus human fight inside a room.
Yeah.
There's so much variety and scale.
It's very intimate, I think, insofar as this can be intimate, this sort of battle.
Oh, for sure. It's proper one-on-one. I mean, I love the knocking down of the pillars as well.
Yeah, so the environment, I think, it looks spectacular. You've got this kind of oil blood slick on the ground that just looks amazing.
Just downing massive bowls of broth.
Yeah, well, you got to heal.
It's got to happen, yeah.
The long pause that we are experiencing in the room here is because someone has come over and told me that I'm not doing the boss fight properly.
Oh, I had that all the time. I was like, suggestions, very polite suggestions from the devs. Maybe try not sucking.
Yeah, have you tried being not terrible at the game? So I think this is the point where I've just been informed that, hey, those pillars, they're a bit more than just set decoration. So what you will eventually see me doing is working out that I can pick them up and use them against him. So I'm still going through the fight at the moment, trying my best to dodge and parry and generally not be bad at boss fighting. It did take me a while to get into the rhythm of it. I think part of that is the complex control scheme and the fact that it was Gamescom and I'd been playing a completely different game just before, and I was very tired and running coffee alone.
Don't want to hear the excuses, Connor.
But yeah, here we go. So this is the same kind of flag raising animation as before, except now I'm using it to go and wallop him while he's down. I'm like, this is what I want. This is the sort of anime over the topness that I normally am. It's like, yeah, fantasy. It's not my thing. But when you make it this ridiculous,
I like the fact that it is big and it is fantasy and it is epic, but again, you get the sense it's not taking itself too seriously when it comes to things like this. Yes, you can levitate a pillar and smack a boss around the head with it.
And it is the exact sort of thing that I would want to do as well. Like, it told me, the game let me do it, and I didn't even think it was possible, but I'm so glad it's let me do it, and it's almost encouraged, like, that they've come around and said, hey, you know that thing that you'd probably only think about, like, oh, wouldn't it be really cool if? Well, that's actually an essential mechanic in this boss fight.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like this is going to be a game where you encounter bosses that you're just going to be immediately slaughtering. Like, every boss has got like a bespoke strategy for winning the fight. So you're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah.
You're not just going to come up against a boss and, okay, I'll just chip away at his health and it's going to die. Like,
no, I tried that tactic with this, and that was when I had to get the gentle nudge. But I'm glad that I was gently nudged.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah. I know, like, how can I make you've just gone through this big fight and they've stopped you before you've given the killing blow. How do we make the cutscene even cooler? How do we make you even cooler? How do we make this entire situation even cooler? Well, let's just impale him with his own shield. That would be brilliant.
One of the bosses I fought was like the Stag Lord or something, sitting on his throne in this arena, and killing him. He sort of like crawled back up to his seat, gave like an amazingly cool one-liner, and his blood sort of like just trickled like a waterfall down the steps of his throne. It was absolutely badass.
They know exactly what the devs know exactly what they're doing, making this as cinematic, yes, but also as preposterous as it is.
Yeah.
Like they're not letting its realism and its groundedness get in the way of being a lot. And just the pompousness of it all. It's brilliant. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I think it looks really special. It's a game I've definitely got on my radar now. It's one of my most anticipated for 2026. Cannot wait to see more. Well, thanks, Connor, for chatting about Crimson Desert and for playing.
No problem. Thank you for having
moderately well.
Definitely could be, some things I could improve, that's for sure.
If you're looking forward to Crimson Desert, let us know in the comments. Otherwise, stay tuned to the channel because we will no doubt have more on the game in the run-up to its release next year. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
PlayStation